all of the drivers competing today. Well, the Pikes Peak Speedway is our venue today, but last time out the Indy Racing League produced some real high drama, not least of which when we had a caution, a yellow flag, which brought out the safety car. Well, not very often that you'll see the safety car involved in incidents, but look to the left-hand side there where we circle Donny Beechler weaving across the left-hand side. Or was he? Well, no, he wasn't. He was actually trying to get into the pit lane. The pace car was there, and Johnny Rutherford, the former Indy 500 winner, was driving that pace car, and real drama during that caution period. Well, it gave us a serious talking point, not least of which was the fact that had the airbags gone off, and as you can see, as Johnny brought the pace car back in, he was grappling manfully with the airbag that had gone off in the steering wheel. Well, into the pit lane he drove, and we had a good giggle about that, I have to say. Well, Sam, you're currently on a break from the Palmer Audi season, and that gives you a chance to join us here today, and it's great that you can be with us. In terms of how things are developing, we said that earlier on that Pikes Peak is a relatively new circuit, and I know that you very much enjoyed last time's race. Are you looking forward to this particular race?
Yeah, absolutely. It's simply because, especially unlike Formula 1 at the moment, you can't guarantee any kind of prediction with the IRL. We saw last time, you know, we were all hedging our bets at the beginning. I think we all lost a load of money to each other because, you know, no one could predict the outcome of the race. And I can virtually guarantee it's going to be like that again today.
I'm so sure it will be. Well, Sam, we look forward to more comments from you. Sean, thanks for joining us during your trip to Britain, although of course a decade ago you were here racing Formula Ford.
That's right.
It's fair to say, isn't it, that the Indy Racing League is a very different proposition to that, but it is enjoying a great rise of prominence in the US.
Right, I think it's given a great avenue for young drivers in the United States to display their talents, and I think the longer it sticks around here, the more legitimate it's seen in the eyes of both the fans and drivers. So.
Well, again, we look forward to hearing more from you during the race. On pole position for today's race is Greg Ray, driving for the top Menard team. He clocked a speed of 176.005 miles per hour. No surprise there, but a big surprise is second place John Hollandsworth, a rookie who obviously had a great qualifying session. The same can't be said of IRL points leader Scott Goodyear, who qualified on row 7 alongside Indy 500 winner Kenny Brack. So, no doubt we could be in for a race of surprises. Let's though first of all take a look at the championship table, and with 4 of the 10 races complete, it's Scott Goodyear who enjoys the advantage over second place Jeff Ward. Mark Dismore is there in third place behind in front of Billy Boat. Eddie Cheever, the former Formula 1 driver, in 5th place with Scott Sharp and last year's champion Kenny Brack 6th and 7th respectively. Greg Ray is there in 8th position, and of course, as we know, he's on pole position. Well, without further ado, we can now get straight over to the United States and join our colleagues at Fox Sports with a commentary team which includes Britain's own Calvin Fish.
In a race that featured more traffic than rush hour in LA, Scott Goodyear emerged victorious in Texas.
Scott Goodyear comes off of turn number 4. He'll see the checkers.
Each race that we go to, we're going there to win, and we feel that if we win races, the championship will take care of itself.
Now the drivers head west to the shadows of the mighty Rockies, with everybody chasing Goodyear.
There's no reason for me not to be able to pitch Scott. You know, there's still 6 races to go.
They're wheel to wheel for the lead. Scott Goodyear on the outside and Sam Schmidt on the inside and wide.
With the elusive championship trophy as the carrot, all eyes are on the fearless points leader.
We never come here to finish second. We do whatever it takes to win races.
And they'll stop at nothing to capture the coveted prize.
Okay, guys, come on. This is not funny. It's time to go. It's time to race. Let's go.
It's Indy racing action at its best. Next on Fox Sports Net.
Ow!
At the base of the Rocky Mountains, it's a sunny but windy day for racing. The stars of the Pep Boys Indy Racing League ready to put on a serious show. It's the Radisson 200 from Pikes Peak International Raceway in Fountain, Colorado. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. I'm Dave Calabro. We've reached the midway point of the season, and kind of a change of pace for the drivers. After 2 races back-to-back on super speedways, it's now the 1-mile oval hill. Very flat track. Jack Arute joins me now. 2 weeks ago, a fantastic show at Texas.
Hey, Dave, not only was it fantastic, but 88,000 fans got to witness it. As Scott Goodyear erased the disappointment of the Indianapolis 500 and replaced it with a euphoric victory for he and his Pennzoil Panther pack. But the most important fact was the fact that it vaulted him ahead of Jeff Ward in the chase for the championship. Ward finished 18th, his first non-podium finish of 1999. And it sets up an interesting battle today. Both start mid-pack, 14th for Goodyear and 18th for Ward. Both drivers have set as a goal for 99 the $1 million Pep Boys IRL title. If they want to chase it, they're going to have to go to the front. That's where the most points are. They want to get better than Dismore, Boat, Cheever, and the rest. In order to do that, they will have to go to the front quickly. Now, joining us, as always, is the two-time Indianapolis 500 champion. And Ari, Pikes Peak is one different racetrack.
It's a very difficult racetrack. It's a 1 mile oval without any straightaway hardly, about 300 yards of real straightaway. That means that the drivers spend a lot of time in the turns and they're really overloading that right rear tire. It's key for the teams to manage that right rear tire by adding, for instance, more downforce to the car. And yesterday during qualifying, Greg Ray, the pole winner, didn't have that much downforce because he only needed to run 2 laps. Today they have to run a stint of about 60 to 65 laps. He put it on the pole yesterday with a great speed, and alongside him is points leader, Rookie of the Year, John Hollinsworth, for his first front row start.
And now it's time for the CD2 pit report. Here's Vince Welsh.
He's been one of the dominant cars in qualifying throughout the course of the season and is coming off a second-place finish at Texas, but Greg, still no victory. How do you get it today?
Well, you know, I tell you, this Glidden Team Menard group's been doing a great job all year long, and we feel like we've been on the verge of victory all year long. And you know, after Indy kind of popped our bubble, and we geared ourselves back up and went to Texas and had a good second-place finish. And you know, really now it's all about the championship, and we're 8th in points, which is a good vault after Texas. And you know, really, we're not really. We'd love to win a bunch of races this year and starting today, but you know, I think we've kind of changed our philosophies just to go out there and do the best job you can and don't put too much pressure on yourself to win. And if you do all the right things at the right time, the wins will come. So you know, this team Menard is looking good today.
Greg Ray, he'll charge from the pole today. Now let's go to Calvin Fish with a driver who's experienced a variety of victories.
Yes, indeed. Kenny Brack has 4 IRL victories, including he won here last year at Pikes Peak International Raceway. And Kenny, race setup is so critical here at this racetrack. We saw you fastest in practice, fastest in the warm-up, yet you start 13th. Can you take it to the front today?
Who knows? We'll have to wait and see what the conditions do. But we've been focusing on race setup and qualifying. I don't really care about it because if you have a good race car, you'll take it to the front. But we don't know if we have, but we think we have a good setup.
As Ari alluded to, a high downforce setup may be the key today, and AJ and the power team feel they have a good race car for Kenny Brack.
Now time to take a look at the starting lineup for the Radisson 200. Here's Jack and Ari.
The front row. Hey, Greg Ray scores his second career pole. John Hollinsworth, his career best. John, that passing flag is not going to get you in front of Greg.
Row 2, Mark Tismore and Sam Smith. Both these drivers are sponsored by giant wireless phone companies. What you see here is a cover-up. They want to cover up those patches. Battle for exposure right there.
Could the third row be called simply Beauty and the Beast? Robbie Unser and Tice Carlson love to cut up. Good to see that the Pacers hat has been shelved by Carlson. But are the Colts in session already in the NFL?
Row 4, Billy Boat and Scott Harrington. Billy needed these crutches last year and looks like he wants them back. But he can't have them back because Scott, with a broken leg and foot, he still needs them.
The fifth row finds the only driver to start all 28 IRL races. His name is Davey Hamilton. For Jimmy Kite, he proposed to his fiancée Kimberly in front of the Indy 500 Carburation Day crowd this year.
Row 6, Eddie Cheever and Buddy Lazier, 2 of 3 Indy 500 winners in today's race. And you know, guys, you can't lean on each other like that out there this afternoon.
Hey, row 7, it's all show me the money. Kenny Brack, defending IRL champion and race champion. Scott Goodyear trying to unseat Brack from that $1 million championship.
Row 8, Stefan Gregoire and Johnny Unser. Stefan, with a 2nd and a 4th place finish here in the previous races, really likes this track. And Johnny Unser in his first full IndyCar season.
Here's the 9th row. When A.J. Foyt had Scott Sharp as a driver, he lovingly used to call him Doodle Bud. For Jeff Ward, this was an important week. He celebrated a birthday. Yahoo!
Row 10, Eliseu Salazar and Raul Boisel. All South American row here, one from Chile, the other from Brazil. Hey, what are you guys looking at? Nice shoes, man.
The 11th row. At 6'3", he's the IRL's tallest driver. Steve Knapp. For Donnie Beechler at 5'5", he may be short, but he sits tall in the seat.
Row 12, Jacques Lazier and Buzz Coggins. The boys and their teams, both from Colorado, feeling the need for speed in front of their hometown crowd.
Preparing to go racing here this afternoon. 1 mile flat oval. The Radisson 200 going to go 200 laps here today. $1 million in prize money on the line. It's time for that famous command. Here's Kathy Hollenhorst from Radisson Hotels.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
And ladies and gentlemen, they're going to fire.
The engine's now coming to life. There's Greg Ray, who will start on the pole today after his great run yesterday, 176 miles an hour. Let's give you the Rain-X weather report. Conditions today, 89 degrees. The humidity low, 30%. And the winds, that could be an issue here today. 20 to 25 miles an hour, kind of gusty, 89 degrees. The track surface right now at 117 degrees. Now, let's give you the race analysis here. 200 laps. 200 miles. Fuel window, Jack?
Well, 60 to 70 laps, but that could slide even farther forward. You can do it on 2 stops here. Remember, you get 2 miles to the gallon under green flag conditions. Some drivers, like last year, Kenny Breck, you can stretch it to 8.0 miles per gallon under yellow, so you'll have to watch that.
That will be fun to watch today. Now it's time for the Pro Start Battery keys to the race. And Ari, you have 3 very important keys today.
Well, first of all, we have a big chance to get a new IRL winner, first-time winner here. Greg Ray is one of them. Jeff Ward is one of them. Sam Smith is one of them. We have about 6 guys that have a chance to win here, 7 guys maybe. The high altitude reduces downforce for the car, so the team have to find a way to make up for that. Obviously, they can add rear wing to it, but there's only so much you can add. Rush hour traffic, they're going to have a lot of traffic here with the first half of the field within about a half a second or 4/10 of a second. You know it's going to be a busy place out there, and your car needs to handle, in traffic.
All right, it's the Pro Start Battery keys to the race. Now, let's take a look at this race course, Ari.
As I said earlier, there's not much straightaway. We just have this part that goes straight, about 300 yards. Other than that, you're always in the turns. This is a very long turn. It just keeps going on forever and ever, putting a lot of load on that right rear tire. Speeds, about 185 miles an hour there. That's the fastest part of the racetrack, but I don't think they'll reach those speeds today because that was in qualifying yesterday. And the speeds will be about 10 miles an hour slower than in yesterday's qualifying because the teams have added downforce, more fuel, of course, and tire wear is the key.
And for your enjoyment today, we have 6 in-car cameras. This will be fun to watch. First off, the MCI WorldCom machine, starting 3rd, Mark Dismore.
Also on board today, we will have exciting action from the Sprint PCS car for Sam Schmidt. He goes to post position number 4.
Yeah, Ari, no cheering for him, by the way. Buddy Lazier, car 91, row 6 on the outside. Delta Faucet Coors Light, the sponsor.
Defending champion will ride along with Kenny Breck today in the power team entry from A.J. Foyt's stable. He hopes to convert that 13th starting spot to a repeat victory.
And this will be fun to watch. The series points leader, Scott Goodyear, the Pennzoil Panther machine, outside of row 7, trying to pick his way through traffic today.
We'll also ride with Mark Dismore's teammate in the Delphi Automotive Special, Scott Sharp, starting back in 17th spot, but they said that they have worked on their race setup. They hope to go to the front quickly.
It's a challenging 1 mile flat oval to start coming up in just a couple of minutes, and Scott Sharp says he's ready for this fast track.
We're sort of back now to the grip type tracks, where you're fighting the balance of the car. The high banks sort of hold the car in, sort of mask any type of problem sometimes that the cars have. Once you get back to the mile ovals, particularly Colorado with it being so flat, it becomes a real grip track. You're chasing the grip, chasing your balance all day long. The guy that can come up with the best mixture is the guy that's probably going to win the race.
We're closing in on the start. Let's go down to Calvin Fish for final thoughts.
Big change in wind direction, guys. A severe headwind coming down the front straightaway. More significantly, it may affect the gearing going into turn 3. Scott Goodyear said he may run out of gear here in the race.
All right, the start now. The field coming off of turn 3. The pace car leading the way, coming down low. We're expecting the green. The pace car comes off. Greg Ray brings the field through turn 4. On the outside, John Hollinsworth, the rookie. And Greg Ray grabs the lead. As expected, Ray sets the pace. Scott Sharp on board now.
But look at the battle for second spot.
We've got an accident coming out of turn 3 into turn 4.
That'll be Billy Boat. That'll be Billy Boat. What a disappointment for the Harris Casino, number 14.
And Tice Carlson involved too. Billy Boat and Tice Carlson.
The tires, but it's loose right now. I don't know what it is, but the tires are still over.
Now, throughout the race, you'll be hearing race radio. You can hear the teams communicating back to the pits.
Get some heat in him.
You're listening to Thomas Knapp talking to Greg Ray, and they were talking a little bit of concern about the tires getting some heat into them.
Now, both drivers are out of the car. That's Tice Carlson. We also saw Billy Boat climbing out of his machine. There's Billy Boat, that new Harris sponsor, wearing that. And you can see he's very upset about what happened here at A.J. Foyt.
Yes, go lead.
This could be a meeting of the minds here with Tice Carlson and Billy Boat. Well, what they're going to do is they're going to take their mandatory trip now to the infield. Now there is camaraderie right there. That's sportsmanship. With emotions running that high and the adrenaline going, both of them go up, and the first thing they do is check to see that they're okay. I'll tell you what, I don't know if I could do that, whether it was my fault or not my fault.
Well, we still don't know what he said to him. One is sitting in the back seat of that car, and one is sitting in the front seat. Maybe they wanted to separate them a little bit, but we'll have to look at a replay pretty soon to see what happened.
Let's
Here we go.
reconstruct what happened. You want to...
It looks like Tice was the one that actually started the spin.
Boy, he got some air. Let's see if we can see a little more from the second shot here. Tice Carlson is already around, but boy, do you see just how high Carlson gets. And his head is right up there against the concrete retaining wall. And right over there, boy, you could see that the wing had come detached. Carlson looked as if he just lost it coming out of the corner there, going into turn 3.
Let's go down to Calvin Fish.
Greg Beck is the team manager for Tice. You just watched it on the monitor, Greg. What's your opinion of the situation on the racetrack?
I really didn't get a good view of it, but it kind of looks like maybe Tice may have spun first. It's hard to say from the camera view. It's not real good, so that's really a guess right now.
This team needs a break week in, week out. You're fast off the truck. You're always a factor in qualifying, but come race time, little things seem to bite you.
Yeah, we're just we need a little luck. I'm not sure what happened right now, but you know, we'll come back and get them in Atlanta.
Team Tice will be ready for Atlanta Motor Speedway in a few weeks, guys.
Fellas, let me show you one important thing. There's a tire, there's a tire, over here is another tire, and you can't see it, but over there is another tire. The SWEM system worked admirably. All the tires remained restrained. Vince, let's check in with you.
Well, A.J. Foyt, obviously team owner for Billy Boat. A.J., any indication of what might have happened there?
Well, it looked like the other car got in trouble first, but I'm not really for sure. You know, you're going to have racing accidents. I'm just ashamed that both cars, you know, crashed like that. But what can you say? You know, we had a good day in May, and everything I feel in. Just glad that nobody's hurt.
Now that you move over to the Kenny Breck pit box, does that change the way you approach this race with Kenny?
Well, not really. We're here with both cars, try to win with either car we can, and I work in a pit box with them, you know, both cars, so now we just got one car.
Do you want an indication of what it's like to see an accident unfold in front of you? Watch right up in here.
Yeah, and for Buddy Desir, he was behind a little bit so he could, you know, get around it pretty easy. But it was a typical racing accident. It looked like Tice lost it. He collected Billy Boat on the way. Nothing Billy Boat could do.
We're under yellow. We'll be back with more at Radisson 200.
Elite Speedway on Sky Sports. The world's best riders, surviving on adrenaline and facing fear.
Oh, look at that!
Man, machine, molded as one, triumphing over terror with a need for speed.
This is fantastic speedway.
The Elite Speedway continues. Bull v Kinslin, Wednesday 7:30, live and exclusive Sky Sports 2.
Italian style.
Hold up, lads. I've got an idea.
Get those motors up here now!
Say cheese.
lads. I've got an idea.
I'm a footballer, not a movie star. I just want to feel good about the way I look.
L'Oreal Elvive 2-in-1. It contains ceramide R, which strengthens the hair from within.
For stronger, thicker, healthy-looking hair.
L'Oreal Elvive 2-in-1 with ceramide R.
It's L'Oreal and I'm worth it.
How much does it cost to access the internet?
Nothing. With Barclays, it's free.
Orange Everyday 50 gives you 50 minutes of national off-peak calls every day for just 50p a day. And if you want to talk for longer, it's just 1 pence a minute. So it could be all over for your home phone. The future's bright. The future's orange.
Oh. Don't worry. The laundry fairy will empty it.
Don't you sometimes wish that your detergent put as much energy into the wash as you do?
Excuse me. Mum, you're not going to wash my best top with that, are you? Oh, lucky you're here, because I've never washed a white blouse before, have I?
Now there's new Ariel 2-layer tablets. They clean better across the wash than any other leading tablet because they burst with cleaning energy and their creamy lather leaves clothes smelling really fresh.
Oh, something about clean, fresh sheets, don't you think?
I haven't got the energy.
New Ariel tablets, at least they're bursting with cleaning energy.
Well, a dramatic start there then to the Radisson 200 at Pikes Peak International Raceway, and Sean Jones seemed like somebody was perhaps a little bit too hot on cold tyres.
Yeah, that's the way it looked from here. Tice Carlson just got on the gas, I think, a little bit too hard, put it up in the wall, and Billy Boat, the unfortunate victim of someone else's mistake. And I'd point out that this is Tice's second race in succession, ending up in the fence, so it's going to have to turn that bit of habit around, I think.
Sam, it must be difficult when you're out there, you've prepared, you're all pumped up, ready to go, to sort of not back off. How do you try and control that?
It's very difficult. I guess that's one of the skills of a racing driver. Something you have to learn is, despite your adrenaline pumping around in your body at 1,000 miles an hour, you know, and how revved up you are for a race, you have to stay focused. You have to be thinking, you know, I'm on cold tyres here, you know, we've got a whole race in front of us. Let's just, you know, maintain that focus and make sure I don't push too hard too early. Tice Carlson, unfortunately, didn't quite get that message, and as we saw, you know, he had his head against the wall. Not a nice place to be.
I mean, very fortunate actually, Sean, not to be more injured. We saw them both get up and walk away, even though they're about to exchange a few words. And again, it must be difficult to control your temper in that situation.
Oh, absolutely. But you know, I think cooler heads prevailed. But both of them quite fortunate. I think we saw Carlson's car get a little bit airborne there. So and these things do happen, I guess. You know, it's not the first time it's happened, either one of them. Probably not the last.
Well, we didn't get many laps under our belt. We had just the one, or barely that, in fact. So let's now go back to Colorado and join Jackaroot and our colleagues over in America.
Cleanup continues as you watch Billy Boat's car now on the hook, involving himself and also Tice Carlson coming out of turn 3.
All right, we want to draw your attention right to this car right there. That's the Hubbard Photographics car of Tice Carlson. Now roll the tape.
He's totally spun on his own.
Now stop it right here. Billy Boat has nowhere to go. He is going to get collected innocently into this crash. Go ahead and roll it.
And he pins him up right there.
Stop it right again.
Billy Boat's car moves into Tice's car, and Tice's car is pinned between Billy and the wall, and that's what makes Tice's car almost go upside down. Very scary situation.
You can see the under tray of that car. Let's check in with Vince Welch. Vince?
You heard A.J. Foyt say that's racing. Sometimes you get caught up in someone else's accidents. Greg Beck, the engineer for Tice Carlson's car, had just told me before the race that they need a little luck. They felt as though they had a car that could contend for the victory today, but we've got to stay clean and we need some luck. Very ironic that he's involved in an early race accident. Calvin Fish?
Tyre wear may definitely be a factor today. Team Menard, Tom Knapp, the crew chief, said they put a second scrub on all of their race tyres. That means they do a few laps, just scuff the tyres. They did that 2 times for Greg Ray. They hardens the tyre, makes them more durable. They should be better on the long runs, guys.
Well, you know, we're still cleaning up the track here, and it's going to take a couple of laps. But coming back to that accident, you know, for Billy Bowden, typically it was a racing accident, but for Tyson it was a mistake on the first lap.
8 laps completed of the scheduled 200. The Radisson 200. We'll have more on Fox Sports Net.
Well, as you can see, we're under caution out in Colorado. And Sean, we were hearing there from AJ Foyt earlier on about, he said that's a racing incident. He's got to be disappointed, though, that half his team is now out of this race so early on.
Oh, no doubt. It's always a huge blow to any team, but Kenny Brack's out there, and they've got to concentrate on Kenny. He's got a championship to go after, and as well as, you know, AJ's being an American racing legend, he's been through this many times before. It's not the first time he's seen one of his cars end up in the fence, so just get on with it. That's it.
Well, we'll be back racing shortly, I'm sure. Sam, any thoughts on who you fancy to get out there? It's early days yet, but of course with Greg Ray being on pole.
Well, the last race I hedged my bets on Sam Schmidt. He didn't come through, but maybe I'll do it again, and we'll see. Cross fingers.
Well, it may be a surprise if someone can win it from pole. Greg Ray indeed took that pole position. He's in good shape at the moment. The same cannot be said, though, for Billy Boat or indeed for Tyce Carlson. So without further ado, let's recross and join our American colleagues out in Colorado.
Welcome back to this Fox Sports Net presentation of the Radisson 200. We are in Fountain, Colorado for today's event, and the stars have come out. In fact, Denver Broncos running back Terrell Davis is here, and he's with Vince Welch.
Fans may be used to seeing Jim Harbaugh and Terrell Davis on the football field, but not necessarily in pit lane. Terrell, welcome to the race. What are your thoughts so far?
I'm having a good time today. Thank you. And, you know, it's a game that, or actually a sport that I've kind of, you know, split the channels a little bit and watched it a little bit, but I haven't been a real big fan of it. But I'm starting to. You know, I came out here 2 years ago. I think I saw the Samsonite 200, and it was very interesting. It's kind of loud out here. I needed some earplugs, but other than that, I'm having a good time.
Any interest in getting in one of these things and going 200 miles per hour?
A little bit. There's a speed demon in me. I think I want to try it out.
Well, if you wanted to, I'm sure we could work that out. Terrell Davis, Super Bowl MVP of the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, he's having fun today. We're glad to have Terrell Davis here. Of course, he was the Super Bowl MVP 2 years ago. There's Buzz Calkins coming in for a pit stop under yellow. We're prepared to go back to the green as the pace car pulls off now, and Greg Ray will lead the field out of turn 4. The fans on their feet, and the restart on lap 11.
This situation with the yellow flags, we had 9 laps on the yellow, will increase that fuel window for many teams, probably up to lap 80 or so.
Made a lot of sense for a guy like Calkins, who was starting in the back of the pack anyways, to come in, top off the tank, get 35 gallons of methanol. They literally, if they get a few more, they could try and make it in one stop.
Exactly, because if you can run 80 laps on the fuel of gas with 1 yellow and you get 2 more yellows, you know, it's quite a possibility.
The field now kind of stretch out a little bit.
As we see here, Buzz Calkins is about to be lapped because he made that decision a little bit late. He should have come in a lap earlier, and see, here he is right there being ready to lap, getting a lap by Greg Ray. So they made a gain and they lost a little bit on that deal.
So the Bradley Food Mart special goes down a lap as Greg Ray continues to stretch his lead over Sam Schmidt. Schmidt, Dave, had a very good start.
Yes, he did, and he's only about a half a second behind right now. 186 laps to go as they come across the start and finish line. Greg Ray with 2 poles this year, looking for that first win, and he'd love to get him here today.
Let's also update you on another 2 drivers that we said at the top of the show needed to move their way to the front. Well, how about Scott Goodyear in that Pennzoil Panther car? He has moved into the 10th position as we look at Buddy Lazier.
And then Ward. Here's Scott Goodyear right now. And there's Jeff Ward on the inside of Scott Goodyear, and Ward came from 18th, right now is in 9th place.
Goodyear in 10th. That bright yellow 4 car.
Clear behind the 8.
See, Ward is always really quick on those opening laps. Every restart, every start, you know, Ward is just a charger, and he charges to the front very quickly always.
Tyce Carlson out of the race. accident on lap 1. He's standing by in the pits with Calvin Fish.
Back in the garage area. Tice, first of all, are you okay, and what happened on the racetrack?
Yeah, I'm fine. I just drove down the corner, really didn't even drive in too hard. The car just came around on us. It's pretty gusty wind out here right now. Maybe we got a bad gust, maybe we didn't, but it's not something that the Blueprint MP team needed today. Have to feel sorry for the AJ Foyt team too. They needed a good run here today. Billy got collected in our spin, and people say that's part of racing, but it's part that you really can't accept.
Up break for Tice Carlson, and as you can see, guys, the wind is already playing a factor here today.
Well, Calvin, you were spot on when you referred to that, because the wind, the way it's running, Ari, it gives you such a push down the backstretch. Let's check in with the other member of that altercation. He's now with Vince Welch with Billy Boat.
Billy, Tice Carlson mentioned the wind as maybe a cause for the incident. Did you feel it in the early going? And maybe just take us through that accident.
It's hard to say. You know, every race car is going to react different to the wind. You know, it's just I was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, you know. His car just got loose and he lost it. I was right behind him. Nowhere to go. And I feel bad for Harris, second race in a row with DNF. Not the way we want to start our relationship, but you know, it's too bad a couple of little guys get taken out on the first lap of this race. I thought we had a great race car, but we're not going to get to show it today.
Frustrating finish for Billy Boat and the AJ Foyt team, sponsored by Harris.
We hear that somebody was talking to Scott Goodyear saying that the leaders are 5 seconds behind you. Sometimes your pit will tell you how far the leader is behind you to keep you aware of that, so you can hold the guy off and not go a lap down. But Scott Goodyear right now is falling back and back and is struggling with the handling of his car.
Still there, still there.
That's Fox Sports Net sounds of the race as you watch Scott Goodyear get passed one more time. He is falling back. He climbed to 10th, now riding in 14th.
Right now 15th. He just got passed by Johnny Unser in the Tabo car.
The situation you find yourself in right now, knowing that you've got to stay out under green flag conditions, knowing that you can't take advantage of an adjustment on pit road. Ari, there's a few things that you can do for yourself, but there's been a change in the lead. Sam Schmidt in the Sprint PCS car, using the Raul Boisel car as a moving pick, gets by Greg Ray, and now he's going to try the high side of Eliseo Salazar.
Boy, let's watch the rookie work. Finding his way through traffic.
Sam's car, he's just been real happy with the car, with the Sprint PCS car this weekend, and he's actually pulling away from Greg right there, and he's just having a great day so far.
Now, you talked, Ari, at the top of the show about altitude and downforce. Sam Schmidt liked to do it flat foot all the way around this racetrack, but that was for qualifying. And now it looks as if John Hollingsworth in the CompuCom Lycos.com car, after an outside front row starting spot, has got a problem, Calvin.
Yes, he does. I was just speaking to Mark Wider. He said the car is perfect. Remember, he got involved with Robbie McGee yesterday. They think it's a right rear. He just radioed into Mark to say they may have a right rear going down. John pulls it into his pit. He had such a great qualifying performance. The first rookie to sit on a pole on the front row since Billy Boat did it a couple of years ago. And the car has been really strong. This is going to hurt them with track position, though, guys. They've changed all 4 tires. Don't look like they're looking at anything else. And John is out of here.
60-mile-an-hour speed limit on the entrance and the exit of pit road for this 1 mile oval. As, hey, I'll tell you what, Sam Schmidt really puts a move there on Steve Knapp in the Microphonics Delco Remy car. Dave, it looks like right now he's got the hot setup.
He definitely does. This is a lot of fun to watch. It's like a bull ring. 1 mile, and they're hustling around here right now. Sam Schmidt is your leader. There you see his lead. Let's go down to Vince Welch.
Scott Goodyear slipped all the way down to 21st. John Barnes, what's wrong?
Just happened to be bad on trouble all weekend, keeping the tires consistent with the car, and this set here's just gone off early.
Well, you take the chance of bringing him in under green?
No way. Just ride around here and see what happens.
That's John Barnes. As you heard, it's a pit stop game, particularly under the green flag. They're going to live with the problem for now.
And Scott Goodyear right now, he's just like what we call standing up in the seat. Let's listen to his throttle. He's for sure going to get out of it because he's just not happy with the handling.
And let's watch the CD2 onboard telemetry. Boy, does he get out of it. Down to 8,700 RPM.
It takes a long time for him to get back in the throttle, which means he doesn't have the grip on the right rear. And there he goes, a lap down to the leader, Sam Schmidt. That's his first lap down, and it's lap 29 on a 200-mile race, 200-lap race.
From the high highs, Dave, at Texas Motor Speedway to what has to be a very low emotional moment right now for Scott Goodyear. They call him the Lone Wolf after he bought that Harley Davidson and rode off into the sunset from the disappointments at Indy.
Look who's moving up. Notably, Eddie Cheever, 11th to 4th, and Scott Sharp also climbing the charts in 8th place now. Buddy Lazier climbing.
Eddie Cheever and that Children Beverage Group, Infinity. Owen Snyder says that they finally have got the package put together. They know how to integrate into their chassis setup that Nissan Infinity engine. They feel like this 1 mile oval and the altitude situation may give them a little bit of an advantage and increase the learning curve.
Another guy to look at here is running really strong today is Mark Dismore. And they've maintained a good pace. It looks like they've got a handle on their tire situation. And here's Eddie Cheever challenging Mark Dismore for 3rd place right there, and he's got him on the inside going to 3.
One of the things Cheever didn't remember, Eddie Cheever is the only driver to have led every Pep Boys IRL race in 1999. Cheever came out here early in a test session, realized the effects of altitude not only on the car, but on himself physically. He's a former resident of Aspen. He said, I came out early, increased my aerobics training. So the reason was I didn't want to be huffing and puffing near the end of the race.
He felt he was huffing and puffing more than he should do during that test, and that kind of gave him the signal. I need to be here earlier, a week leading up to the race.
1 mile above sea level we are here at Fountain, Colorado. Your race leader is Sam Schmidt. Now 34 laps completed. Vince Welch has an update on our race leader.
Sam Schmidt's car is hooked up. It is absolutely perfect. At this point, they're just trying to stretch it out, and obviously with that long yellow, the fuel mileage is going to be stretched out as well. They're talking about a 60 to 70 lap. They were talking about a 60 to 70 lap window before. Now it's closer to an 80 lap window, and absolutely no complaints in Sam Schmidt's pit, the Sprint PCS team.
Well, Vince, that looks like it might open the door then for at least a consideration to making this a one-stop race. They just need a few more caution laps.
There's your leader, Sam Schmidt just went by. There's Greg Ray, and in 3rd place, Eddie Cheever closing in on Greg Ray. So Eddie Cheever might do it again and become the leader of this race later in the race.
Ari, what kind of advice would you give Sam Schmidt? We're only 36 laps into this thing, him being out front right now.
Well, he's doing a great job right now, and he has the confidence of having a good car, and that's really what you need around a place like this. Scott Goodyear has no confidence at all. He's really just, he's kind of like a little scared out there right now. He can be very scared when these cars are sliding all over the place. And Sam Schmidt has a car that is working great and giving him all this confidence. So
some great wheel-to-wheel action here. The Radisson 200 Pep Boys Indy Racing League action. Watching some serious battles on the track. Eliseo Salazar about to be passed on the inside. Salazar now trying to hang the top 10. And Kenny Breck. Give a call to Kenny Breck running in 9th place. Trying to get around that yellow car. And he's going to get it.
Did you see that wiggle? Did you see the wiggle on Scott Goodyear's car when he ran
struggling?
The car is so loose for him. He cannot touch the throttle. He cannot even look at it, and that's a big problem. He just can't wait for a yellow.
Well, he's getting bounced all around. Mark Dismore. Dismore, 5th place, 7 seconds behind the leader. NCI WorldCom. Kelly Racing out of Fort Wayne, Indiana. And give a call to Harrington.
The call you've got to make is the man that has a broken foot, a broken right leg, Scott Harrington, in the Certainty Building Product Special. And Calvin, he is doing one whale of a job in that Darryl Soppy tuned machine.
He really is, Jack. He's having a great run. The car is perfect. There is some concern, though. He has problems with his legs, a couple of broken bones, concerns under the pit stops. He has to hold the clutch down for a long time. Also, during that yellow caution period, the engine wanted to die. That may exaggerate that problem.
Yeah, if I was Scott, I would just come into the pit and pop it into neutral, and at the last moment, put it into first gear and take your time. It's better to have a long pit stop than a stalled car.
But did you see how quickly he had gone from way in the back in the back 10 all the way up to running the 4th spot? Just incredible.
It's a great race, shaking out. 42 laps completed, and your leader is Sam Schmidt. He'll be coming in for a pit. We'll have it next on Fox Sports Network.
off on 2 separate routes. I wonder if we'd still be friends in both of them.
Express yourself.
Depends. Oh, it's not very nice, is it?
See the world your way.
Oh. Don't worry. The laundry fairy will empty it.
Don't you sometimes wish that your detergent put as much energy into the wash as you do?
Excuse me. Mum, you're not going to wash my best top with that, are you? Oh, lucky you're here, because I've never washed a white blouse before, have I?
Now there's new Ariel 2-layer tablets. They clean better across the wash than any other leading tablet because they burst with cleaning energy and their creamy lather leaves clothes smelling really fresh.
Oh, something about clean, fresh sheets, don't you think?
I haven't got the energy.
New Ariel tablets, at least they're bursting with cleaning energy.
Treat your wood to something new. Cuprinol Wood Stain Max. The only wood stain with a 6-year guarantee. Give your wood the max.
Buy one pair of Boots brand spectacles with scratch-resistant lenses, then choose another pair absolutely free. What a choice from Boots Opticians.
What pushed Carl Fogarty to his 3rd World Superbike Championship last year?
For an unprecedented 4th title, he'll need an even bigger push at Brands Hatch this year. Book now and give Foggy your support.
How to help people remember the free number you can call day or night to find builders, electricians, plumbers, things like that. Perhaps a lively jingle. 800 600 900. Catchy.
The pollen count may be up, but the outlook is bright due to hay fever relief coming in from new Livostin Direct. Applied directly into the eyes and nose, Livostin Direct works within minutes, and 1 dose can bring relief up to 12 hours. Livostin Direct, hay fever relief that works in minutes and lasts for hours.
Sir Isaac Newton tells us that the acceleration of a body, blah, 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 is directly proportional to the magnitude of the force, blah, blah, and inversely proportional to its mass. Therefore, the Vauxhall Zafira won't be as agile as a smaller car. Newton. One apple falls on his head, thinks he's Einstein.
Vauxhall, raising the standard.
So Sam Schmidt is the leader of the Radisson 200, and Sam Hancock, one of your namesakes, and somebody who you picked out at the start of the race. He's looking in good shape, even though we're in the very, very early stages, it has to be said.
Yeah, that's right. He obviously got a radio message hearing that I'd hedged a lot of money on him winning. Yeah, what a role, you know. He's doing well. A couple of years ago, he was a relative unknown, and we saw him pick up that 2nd position result in Vegas last year, and 3rd at Texas in the previous race. So he's got that consistency now, and that's all it takes. Once you realise as a driver that you have got the pace and you've proved it to yourself, it gives you confidence to know that you can do it from there onwards. And the other thing is, just on a complete mental note, you know, once you're up the top, you get very annoyed if you don't stay up there, so you fight perhaps that little bit harder, and I think that's what we're seeing Sam Schmidt doing. Let's hope he gets his first victory.
Well, we'll see over the next ensuing laps. And Sean Jones, we're talking about heroics there and fighting, and there's a guy out there at the moment, Scott Harrington, who's really fighting.
Absolutely, really gritty performer. I actually know Scott fairly well, and he's a guy that's had to work really hard to find the sponsorship to go racing, and having done that, I think this is the 2nd broken leg he's had in 2 years. Here he is, equally his best qualifying performance of 8th, and I think he's running 4th now, and it can't be easy out there. I think it's his left leg, so it's a problem when he's in and out of the pits with the clutch, but really one hell of a performance, I'd say.
Absolutely. Well, we'll be into pit stop territory very shortly, I'm sure, but in the meantime, let's rejoin our American colleagues at Pikes Peak International Raceway.
watching the Radisson 200, riding on board now with the race leader. Sam Schmidt is hooked up, and he's 49 laps into this, and Mr. Unser is having a great run too.
Boy, indeed he is. His only appearance here before this race was last year, where he finished in 12th spot. No stranger to Pikes Peak, but more to the Pikes Peak mountain climb than the 1 mile oval here. And John King said this car is really adjusted to the altitude change very nicely. They've made quick changes to it, but they did a trick, Ari, to try and get Robbie to run a little faster in qualifying. They made him run the whole Friday practice session with a full 35 gallons of methanol. They didn't tell him. All of a sudden, he got in the car to qualify and says, wow, this thing's a rocket ship. Battle for 4th position also beginning to shape up between Scott Harrington right here and this guy. That's Buddy Lazier.
Buddy Lazier had actually passed Robbie Unser just before this during the break, because Buddy was running at 6. He moved past Robbie Unser. Now he's looking at Scott Harrington, so Buddy's having a great run today. A typical run for him where he's always hooked up in the race.
Did you hear that? That sound that we heard at the end of that back straightaway was the rev limiter. Not to be concerned, the limiter can come on for a short period of time, especially in a place where you're going to decelerate, because it slows the car down automatically anyway.
Yeah, it slows the car down a little bit. It's like pulling the handbrake a little bit, but you know, most of the drivers are going to have that today because the wind is pushing them into turn 3, and that's where you're going to hit the rev limit a little bit. You know, for sure, they're not going to hit it going into 1, going in against the wind. So a lot of traffic on the front straightaway here. There's Buddy Lazier on the outside of Scott Harrington.
And that is a pass 4 position. Harrington in the 4th spot, about to lose it to Buddy Lazier. Lazier making the run in the Coors Light Hemmelgarn Delta Faucet entry.
And he's talked all week how he would love to win here in the home state. He has a lot of fans here. Of course, the sponsors based in this state. Sam Schmidt up front. There you see Greg Ray in the left corner right there. Ray now 2.7 seconds behind. We watch racing for 2nd and 3rd. Let's go down to Calvin Fish for an update.
Quick update on Buddy Lazier. He says the car is very good, other than when he catches the gust of wind in 3, it loosens the car up. Update on number 2 position, Greg Ray. His fuel window is now up to lap 75, so it definitely looks like a 2-stopper if they go green, guys.
But I've got to tell you right now, as we rode on board there for a second with Buddy Lazier, the man that should get the award thus far is in 4th spot, right up there, and that is Scott Harrington. They call him Herringbone, and that's not the case right now, Vince, but he is having one whale of a ride, crutches and all.
He sure is. And another guy that you talked about is Jeff Ward. He started in the 18th spot, and he's currently running 11th, but he's dropped back a couple of positions. Mitch Davis said no reason for concern. They're very comfortable with the car, but they're more concerned with pacing right now. So losing 2 spots is not a worry for Jeff Ward. Also, Eddie Cheever's team may be experiencing some radio problems, so they're limiting their communication. They might have to change the battery, but they say otherwise the car is excellent.
Cheever is one of only 4 drivers, guys, that have actually completed 399 of the 400 laps ever run here at Pikes Peak International Raceway for the IRL. The only guy to complete all 400, Tony Stewart. That record will fall today.
Jeff Ward might be pacing himself right now, but he did just go down a lap. Sam Schmidt put a lap on Jeff Ward, and anytime you're a lap down on one of these 1 mile ovals, it's tough to get him back.
We'll watch the Yahoo machine to see if he can pick it up. There's the race leader now, 142 laps to go. Sam Schmidt in the black and white car is your race leader as he makes a pass on the inside, lapping some traffic. 59 laps completed. Greg Ray running in 2nd, 3.7. There's another pass.
You want to see what a good ride looks like from the cockpit of a car? You want to see what the telemetry is like from the cockpit of a car that is leading the race? Here's the ProStart Batteries telemetry for your leader, Sam Schmidt. The green right there, that's how much throttle he applies. In the meantime, we've got a great battle for 3rd position between Scott Harrington down on the inside trying to get around, and he does.
He got around it really easy, too.
Got by Cheever in the 51, that red and blue car. And Harrington, somebody has put a fire in the cockpit of Harrington's car because he is going to the front.
Maybe he should drive with a broken leg more often or something. He seems to be adjusting quite well today.
Well, any guy that has as much bad luck as Scott Harrington has had, you know, once you're running in a good position like he is today, it just fires him up. He's fired up in that car, and he's feeling very good about himself.
Harrington landed Certainty Building Products at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway as a sponsor for not only this year but for future years. And he said it took a lot of the pressure off of him, not as a driver, but as someone has to go out and raise funds. He said, now I can sit down and I can concentrate about sitting at the keyboard of the car and thinking about what I need to do to improve my driving.
Well, being an owner and running the team and finding the money and just having to arrange everything, it takes so much focus away from the actual driving that it becomes almost impossible. So that's a load off his shoulders, which is a big load.
My dad once said, if you're an owner and a driver, you can only be a good owner.
Watching it battle for 4th and 5th. Right now, Cheever is 4th. That's the children's beverage car right there, followed closely by Buddy Lazier. Lazier now 4.5 seconds off the race pace for the lead. That's Sam Schmidt up front right now.
Looks like Buddy Lazier is really closing in as Cheever works the inside of Salazar in the Nienhaus entry. And Cheever, tries to close back in there and go to the inside while Lazier rides the high side in the Coors Light number 91.
He lost a little bit of time on that run there.
Now that's John Hollingsworth right there that they just put a lap down as Lazier closed to within 2 or 3 car lengths, but that race traffic lengthened the advantage for Eddie Cheever and gave him a little breathing room.
And there's a lot of traffic out there today.
I was going to say, Ari, at a 1-mile track like this, you come up on people in a hurry, don't you?
Well, you come up on them on a hurry if they're a bunch slower anyways, but sometimes you can't just, you know, especially today with the wind, the way the wind is blowing, you can't use every part of the racetrack like you could do on other days.
All right, 66 laps completed here on Fox Sports Net, the Radisson 200. Here are the leaders. We'll be back.
Well, Sam Schmidt apparently in control of the Radisson 200, and a man with the broken leg is the man very much on the charge at the moment, Scott Harrington. But it just seems incredible to me that a driver can control himself, and he must be going through incredible pain, Sam. Have you ever driven with that sort of an injury?
No, I can't say that I have, gladly. But I would guess, firstly, it's lucky that it's his left leg that's broken, because on the left-hand corners, all the G-force pushing you out to the right of the car, and your body, your legs especially, do brace, you know, and take a lot of the load. And so luckily his right leg is healthy and it can do the work that it needs to, obviously the right-footed pedal work. And so he's a lucky guy. The adrenaline as well will be hiding some of that pain, I imagine, as well.
And briefly, Sean, we heard there about the rev limiters, and there's been a change there, hasn't there, in recent months?
That's right. They finished the end of '98, 10,500 RPM was where the rev limiter kicked in. Started the year at 10,300, and now they're down to 10,000 RPM. And I think it's purportedly to reduce speeds, but I have a feeling as well it's to increase engine life. It doesn't look good when you got engines blowing up left and right. You got to have people finishing races. So.
Okay, thanks gentlemen for the moment. Well, we heard Buddy Lazier there, who's running in 5th place, his engine note changing as he hit the rev limiter. Whether it's going to help propel him to the front, well, let's go back now to Colorado and Pikes Peak International Raceway to find out.
You're watching the Radisson 200, 72 laps complete. Here's a race recap in the lead early on, and then on lap 1, Tice Carlson and Billy Boat involved in the only yellow. Billy Boat very upset being knocked out of the race on the first lap. That's the only yellow. There's Sam Schmidt passing on the inside for the lead on Greg Ray, and then Eddie Cheever climbing up right now. Eddie Cheever now running in 4th place, and Buddy Lazier. Interesting run for him today.
Let's look at his hands here. Look at his hands. Whoop, there he goes. Almost loses it on the inside.
That was a
Here could take it away. Here could take it away a little bit as he came from the top of the track to the bottom.
Here's your ProStart Batteries race recap. Caution for 12 laps. Number of cautions, just one. The average race speed right now, 125 miles an hour. And an interesting race so far.
And Dave, there may have only been one lead change, but don't forget, we've got pit stops coming up. The window has been open, and that will shuffle things around. The big problem on a 1-mile oval, if it is under green flag conditions, everybody has to cycle through. Or if the yellow should come out after some of the front runners have pitted, that can literally put them a lap down.
Yeah, that's a really unlucky break you can have. You know, making a pit stop under the green and you leave the pits, and a lap later it goes yellow and your competitor comes in under the yellow.
Sam Schmidt continuing to lead this event. He should be pitting shortly, probably at lap 80, I believe, as we look at the Rain-X telemetry. Speed in traffic dramatically altered when you're running behind some cars. You can see from the RPM, not even approaching that 10,000 RPM on our Rain-X telemetry.
Pit stops are coming up shortly, but Greg Ray has found a way to close in a little bit on Sam Schmidt. It's less than 2 seconds right now, and it had been up to 3.5 seconds. Sam is kind of stuck behind all this traffic ahead of him.
And here's our first green flag pit stop for one of our leaders, Eddie Cheever, currently posted in fifth spot.
He was 15 seconds behind the race leader. Sam Schmidt still on track. We watch the children's beverage team go to work. Pep Boys Indy Racing League action here. Lap 76. Fairly routine pit stop. Fuel and tires, and Eddie Cheever back away. Now the battle for second place. Greg Ray in second in that yellow car left of your screen. He's closing in on the leader, and here comes Harrington into the pits in third.
Scott Harrington brings it on down. This is a concern for the guys. Daryl Selby led through. He brings it in very slowly. The concern is with his legs, if he can hold the clutch down and get away from here effectively. He's motioning. Oh, and they have a problem. The right rear has gone down. The car is a little on the ground right now. They get it back up in the air. This is a slow pit stop. He needs some water. He needs some refreshment. He's pretty bad in the cockpit right now. He finally gets some of the truth out from the crew. They're waiting on the fast drops of fuel. And he's out of there and he makes a good start. Little slower than it should have been though, guys.
Back on track, the battle, Laurie.
Greg Ray is close within just, as you can see it, here's Sam Schmidt, and there was Greg Ray as we move to this shot. Just a couple of laps to go before the pit stops. It doesn't matter if you can get by the guy, get by him, because you want to be able to come into the pit lane first.
Well, Larry, you said there that it looked like Sam Schmidt got stuck behind some slower traffic. That breaks the rhythm up, but it also allowed Greg Ray to close in on it. But does it not become kind of a moot point as Lazier peels off and comes down to pit road because of the fact that you're going to be cycling in for a green flag pit stop?
Sometimes if you're stuck behind 4 or 5 cars for the last 2 laps before you come into the pit, it's better to come in before you really should come in, because you're going to get slowed down so much. You might as well come in the pit and get back into clean air. It gave Greg Ray a great opportunity to close in on him, and that's what he's done.
Now there's Jimmy Kite coming in on the Team Losi car, and Jeff Ward coming down pit road as he is going to get his first stop. Jeff Ward in the Yahoo machine from Pagan Racing. Mitch Davis and his crew go to work. Now we should watch to see if they make any sort of a chassis adjustment, because Ward had run to the front, and there you see right there they are making a wing adjustment on the right front. They did it well, and there's a problem. Mark Dismore in the MCI WorldCom car has been turned around as he pulled down on the pit road.
Boy, and this is something that Sam Schmidt really could use. And, well, I don't know. It might be good for him because Greg Ray's still out there and most of the other guys are still out there that were challenging him.
Dismore was running in 6th position as he got a little squirrely in the pit area there. They straightened out the car, that 28 machine.
David, part of the problem is the way the Pikes Peak International Raceway pit road is laid out. There is a sweeping left-hand corner exiting the pits. In order to allow each of these teams to have sufficient room for their pit stall, they have moved some of those pit stalls down into that sweeping corner. Not saying that that created the problem for Mark Dismore, but that's the location of car number 28. Also got a problem with the BeFast.com car of Raul Boisel. Ted Brandt and company, his crew going to work, and it looks like they're going to remove the side pod to try and determine what's wrong there.
He's laboring back at 20th. Here's Dismore trying to get that machine fired up, the MCI WorldCom car, and seems to be having some problems getting the power to the machine.
I would have to suspect that they've got a gearbox problem.
The car is stuck in gear, and they're playing with the starter. You see the car move forward all the time, but they cannot get the car out of gear.
And that could very well have caused the car to loop around. Let's go back and take a look at the replay and see if we can construct it. Dismore pulling down onto pit road. You've gone through the gearbox. You got to stay. Whoops. Almost would have to think he tried to shift gears to slow down, and then all of a sudden it came around on him. Let's listen.
It almost looked like... It's kind of hard to say what happened. It looked like it went down a gear, and he tried to get out of gear, and it just couldn't come out of gear.
All right, we're still under yellow. 85 laps completed of 200s here today, and Sam Schmidt is your race leader. Sam Schmidt, Raul Boisel rolling back out, but he's laboring back at 21st position right now. And every so often you'll be hearing communication from the drivers back to the pit area, talking to their mechanics as they update the conditions on a gorgeous afternoon here in Fountain, Colorado, Pep Boys Indy Racing League. Sam Schmidt's lead now Just under a second. Greg Ray is going to have a chance to close in under Yellow here,
Look out,
baby.
because here come the leaders, Sam Schmidt and Greg Ray. Choreographed ballet, Calvin.
Well, Greg Ray brings it in right behind leader Sam Schmidt, and he will be looking for just a tire pressure adjustment on the car. No wing adjustment is what Tom Knapp said. He takes a quick refreshment drink from his bottle. And an update there on Scott Harrington. Remember, he had no conditioning guy. He had 2 weeks in the bed, and that may be a factor for him in this race today.
Well, we watched Sam Schmidt's crew, and they went to work and made a chassis adjustment on the front wing. And boy, there's a drag race coming out of pit road. Let's check in with Vince Welch.
Made took 2 turns out of the front wing, and that yellow came right on time for Sam Schmidt because they needed to come in at lap 90 or sooner. And the yellow obviously was perfect timing for Sam Schmidt coming off his first podium finish at Texas. They say the car is great other than the little adjustment they made in the front wing. Otherwise, they're very happy with their run so far. And why not? They're in the lead.
So, Ari, you complete your pit stop, you look in the rearview mirror, and all of a sudden you see Greg Ray closing on the outside saying, hey, it's going to be my spot. What goes through your mind pulling back out on pit road?
I don't know what happened leaving the pits there for Sam Schmidt, but he got out of the pits a little slow, a little bit of a hesitation. And then when he came around the corner, just before the blend line, he was beaten to the blend line by Greg Ray. So now Sam Schmidt is back into second place.
That's right. Greg Ray takes over the lead here. And Greg Ray, Sam Schmidt, Hamilton. Here's the pit summary in and out. Schmidt went in first and came out second. And Greg Ray takes over the lead. Look at Unser having a great run. Robbie Unser holding on to his 3rd position. And Hamilton also in the top 5.
The guy that really lost out, who had just made a pit stop before that yellow came out, was Eddie Cheever. Eddie Cheever is a lap behind right now in 5th place. That's because Sam was able to pit under the yellow. They put a lap on Cheever while he was pitting under the green. Yellow comes out. Sam goes in the pit, and they're a lap ahead. Him and Greg Ray.
Boy, tough break for the MCI WorldCom car. Mark Dismore has dropped out of the race. We've got some late breaking news on John Hollinsworth. Let's check in with Calvin Fish.
Well, the car just went incredibly loose, Jack. They thought it was a right rear tire go down. When he came in and they changed tires, they checked the pressure, no problem there. And he was just trying to stay out of everyone's way until they got a caution, and they made some adjustments here. Mark White is a little concerned as to why the handling has gone away. They haven't had a loose condition all weekend long.
This is something that happens on 1 mile ovals. You'll have a car that handles so bad, gets so loose, you think you'll have a flat tire. You come in, and to your great disappointment, they'll tell you, no, you didn't have a flat tire, and then you know you're in trouble for the rest of the day.
That's an interesting point there. After 88 of 200 laps, Greg Ray, Glidden Menard is your leader. Under yellow, Sam Schmidt is 2nd. Davey Hamilton has climbed up to 3, and Unser is 4th. Next time around, we're going to go back to green.
Davey Hamilton took advantage of some quick action by the Spinal Conquest Gallus team. That put him into that 3rd position. Stefan Gregoire, the Mex Mill Tokheim car, solidly in the top 10. He's got a 2nd and a 4th. They asked Dick Simon, what does he want Gregoire to do today? He said, well, we'll take you to 1st or 3rd.
Boy, don't get greedy, huh? Here we go. The pace car pulls off. We're going to go back to green here, lap 89 as the green comes out.
Green flag.
Now the race leaders are going to have to shuffle through some serious traffic now.
Sam Schmidt is looking good there. Right behind Greg Ray. He's going to challenge him. Let's have a look at that. Greg Ray on the inside of Raul Boisel, and there's Sam following him right through.
Boy, Boisel is having a terrible day. It just doesn't seem as if that team has been able to get their problem straightened out. From the Brandt Racing Be Fast Shopper number 3, and Boisel already several laps down.
American Racing Wheels sponsoring the telemetry here. There you see the speed, RPM, and watch him on the throttle.
You know, Scott Goodyear, our points leader, is having a terrible day as well. And sometimes that's the way it goes. You can't get the car to handle a 1 mile oval like this. This is a very difficult track to get it to work. Once you have it working, you're flying like these 2 guys here.
Mark Dismore is behind the wall with Vince Welch.
Obviously a very disappointed Mark Dismore. I know, Mark, they're taking parts off the backup car to put on your car, but for all intents and purposes, no chance for victory today. What happened?
I lost my brakes, and when I came in, I was pumping them, and finally the back brakes locked up, and I slid into the wall. Then we went to go back out, and the gearbox was locked in. I mean, it's like, well, I think it's a clutch. But they're going to try to fix it. We're going to try to get out and get some points.
We'll look for Mark Dismore back out on, but it's not going to be a good finish for this Team Kelly driver today.
Well, Dismore is on one of those seesaw seasons. Some days it's good, some days it's bad. Steve Knapp in the Microphonics Delco Remy number 35 for ISM Racing. Looks like a problem on his car. He is slowing down dramatically. He was posted in the 11th position before this problem fell on this team.
Hear him barking on the radio. There's the race leader up front, the bright yellow machine of Greg Ray. 94 laps completed, and the Sam Schmidt challenging. He's a half a second behind. There's Greg Ray's run so far today in the Radisson 200. And we're about to the halfway point. We hope you'll kick back, relax, and watch the rest of the race. We'll be back with more here on Fox Sports Net.
Somebody set that nuclear weapon off. This was a terrorist act.
The might of the superpowers is at the mercy of one man.
What happened?
The guy got away with a bomb. The pursuit of peace.
How much time are we looking at?
We can track him for another 45 minutes.
It's a violent affair.
We have a possible weapon of mass destruction coming into the United States.
George Clooney, Nicole Kidman. It's not our war. It is now. The first showing of The Peacemaker at 8 Saturday on Sky Premiere. The biggest films every Saturday night, guaranteed.
You have 30 seconds to answer the following questions. How many numbers between 0 and 60 begin or end with 3? How many triangles are there? Which is the odd one out in this list? 16-valve performance, ABS, alloy wheels, air conditioning, indoor swimming pool, electric sunroof, CD player, £15,590. Test drive your IQ now. The Renault Laguna.
What pushed Carl Fogarty to his third World Superbike Championship last year?
For an unprecedented fourth title, he'll need an even bigger push at Brands Hatch this year. Book now and give Foggy your support.
I'm meeting someone, but I'd quite like to freshen up first. It's just over here, sir. Thanks. Hello.
The best things come to those who loaf. Here's to maximum refreshment, minimum effort.
You smell nice.
Thanks, I've just been to the lavatory.
Wake up to the thrill of Mach 3, the first triple blade razor from Gillette. 3 blades positioned to shave progressively closer. You take 1 stroke, it takes 3. For the closest shave, in fewer strokes with less irritation. Mach 3 from Gillette.
If you want a personal approach to your finances, there are 4 letters worth looking out for.
H.
S.
B.
C.
H.
S.
B. C. H.
S.
B. C. H.
S.
B. C.
HSBC. The new name for Midland Bank.
Make the perfect recording for your perfect place. Sony mini disc.
We're back. Radisson 200 at the halfway point, and Sam Schmidt is the race leader now. 7 cars on the lead lap. Greg Ray in second, and we're going to give you a little replay of the pass he made.
Went back to take a look at how Sam Schmidt.
There's a little bit of traffic there in front of Greg Ray. Held him up a little bit. Got a good run coming off for 4. Sam on the outside and maintaining that pace.
And And that pass came at a time that was very financially rewarding for Sam Schmidt. Firestone pays $10,000 for the first at 99 to commemorate their 99 years in building tires. Old car number 99, cha-ching!
And he learned it from the money miser over here, Ari Landak. Ari taught him those moves.
You know what? Sam didn't just pass him because he got held up by traffic. Sam passed him because he is faster right now. He's pulling away a little bit from Greg Ray. And here's Davey Hamilton with a great run in third place.
Davey Hamilton is one of these drivers, as we alluded to. All 28 IRL races have found a Davey Hamilton in the field. And we've got an update on Davey Hamilton from pit road.
Davey Hamilton led 38 laps here last year, and that was his goal, to get to the front again today. They were loose early on, but they corrected that at the first pit stop, and the yellow came in right on time, allowing them to come in and make those adjustments because they were going to have to pit on the under green. Right now, the car is great. Hamilton is very confident that he can stay up with the leaders up in front, currently running third.
Now, while most of the other drivers at the end of the Radisson 200 will shower and change and go back to their hotel, Davey Hamilton gets out of his driver's suit, becomes a big-time car owner. For who? Ken Hamilton, his father, when the Coors Light Silver Bullet Series of USAC takes to this 1 mile speedway. Davey went to his dad and said, look, Dad, why don't we buy a new beast, a couple of new engines? You know, I'm doing well in the Pep Boys IRL. And his dad, Ken, said, why? I like the old stuff. I'm doing all right. Don't mess up my fun.
Scott Sharp having a run today. Started 17th. There he is on track right now, the Delphi machine. He started 17th and he's climbed up to 8th. He's not on the lead lap though. 7 cars on lead lap right now.
It's an important day for Scott Sharp, not for himself, but for the matriculation of his new engineer, Will Moody. Moody signed on board for Texas Motor Speedway, had some tire problems there. Now, Moody and Sharp are no strangers to each other. They campaigned in the Trans Am Series, and Scott Sharp was very pleased when Team Kelly and the Delphi people said, hey, let's bring Moody on board. We'll make him your engineer.
Right now, Sam, Scott Sharp is complaining about being loose.
Talking about running in 4th gear.
Easily will be okay.
Because he's so much off the pace right now with a loose race car, he can afford to use a lower gear because he's not getting the maximum rev, because he's not really coming off the corners the way he should.
And he started in the 17th spot. He has broken into the top 10. He's at 8th. But you want to see his speed? It's 2 miles an hour slower than the lead pace set by Sam Schmidt. Schmidt at 157. Sharp just at 156.66. So he's picked up a little bit. He's found a comfort zone now, even though the car is a little loose.
We're 90 laps from the finish now. Eddie Cheever hanging in the top 5. Trying to give Infinity their first win. Back on board with Sharp. Calvin Fish, you have an update.
Well, I've seen a lot of the cars go loose. We documented John Hollinsworth. Alicio Salazar was in for a loose condition. Donnie Beechler came in. The crew took about 8 turns of front wing out of the car. Incredibly loose out there. The guys are barely hanging on to the race car.
That's a very unpleasant situation to be in as a driver, but we almost expected here the high altitude, loss of downforce because of that. And then the wind is playing a factor, and the heat is pretty warm out there with track temperatures up in the 125, 130 degree range.
Maybe this can help you to appreciate the difference in the altitudes. When we were at Texas Motor Speedway 2 weeks ago, we were at a certain level above sea level. Where we are today, Dave, we are higher now at Pikes Peak International Raceway than the airplanes fly in an approach pattern at Dallas-Fort Worth Airport. That'll get my attention. I don't know about yours.
You have too much time on your hands to figure that out.
Well, he just called somebody today.
Eddie Cheever hanging in the top 5.
And still Scott Harrington is still having a great day, as we see on the screen. Scott is running in 6th place behind Eddie Cheever.
You know, that's no slight accomplishment either for Harrington, because that team, he and his dad, Gene Harrington, they own the automobile, campaign the machine. We watched Scott Goodyear continuing to soldier on in the Pennzoil Panther car. Same for Kenny Breck in car number 14. The power team entry is at least being shown in the top 10 in the 9th position. But not the kind of day that Breck would like to have. He's the defending champion, not only in the IRL, but here at Pikes Peak as well.
What these guys are doing right now, they're not competitive. They're struggling. They have been fighting a loose condition. They're just trying everything to stay off the wall, bring that thing home, and get points. and then just start from scratch the next race. They know they're not going to be a winner today, but they need the points.
Kenny Breck says that one of the great things that's happened to him since the Indianapolis 500 is his popularity in Sweden has skyrocketed. He said that he got some information there as we look for a battle for the lead beginning to shape up.
And
Greg Ray and Sam Schmidt again. It's a change.
Greg Ray battling once again up front, looking for his first win, and here comes Sam Schmidt giving chase. 116 laps completed. Listening to communication from Greg Ray, talking to his crew in the pit.
Talking about wanting more front wing, Ari.
Well, here's a guy who's not loose today, and I'm not sure if that was Greg Ray. Did you recognize his voice? He needed more front wing because he's pushing, and most of the teams, you know, most of the cars are loose today, but there are obviously a couple of guys out there that are fighting a push condition. I have a serious feeling that Sam Schmidt is now struggling a little bit with the handling of his car. He put more wing in the car on his last pit stop. I think it might have been the wrong adjustment because he's slipping back a little bit. Greg Ray passed him pretty easy. He's falling back now. Looks like he might be getting a little bit loose.
Scott Harrington running in 6th place, and his father's here today and heavily involved. Let's go down to the pit area.
Well, Gene watches Scott's progress. Gene, the yellow really hurt you guys. You just pitted under green. But how about Scott's condition? He hasn't been able to work out the last couple of weeks. How's he faring in the race car?
He hasn't complained at all. The only thing he's complained about is getting caught with the yellow and getting almost a lap down. He hasn't complained at all. He's okay, I think.
The adrenaline is certainly flowing in the 66 machine, and Daryl Sobey, who leads this team, has great success here at Pikes Peak with Stefan Gregoire finishing 2nd here 2 years ago.
You got to wonder if maybe they have something about 1 mile racetracks. Don't forget that Scott Harrington was the guy that had a podium finish close to it at the last 1 mile that we ran at in Phoenix, Arizona. So Miles, Harrington, and Certainty Building Products, they seem to go together, make a nice fit.
79 laps to go here at the Radisson 200. 7 drivers on the lead lap. Scott Sharp and Kenny Breck are 1 lap down. So again, 7 on the lead lap. Eddie Cheever hanging right there in the top 5. Cheever running in 5th, 12 seconds off the leader. Greg Ray is the leader right now.
Greg Ray's been in this position before. He is yet to be able to cash in on it and make the trip to victory lane. But right now, Thomas Knapp, Greg Ray, and the entire Menard team are showing a lot of poise, and John Menard is not here. God forbid they should score their first victory, and Menard, the Lumber King, is not here. There's so much support that he's
the Lumber King.
The Lumber King.
Save big money. We wish him well today, as we know he's watching. 123 laps completed. And again, 7 cars on the lead lap. The exciting finish is coming up. Here's a look at your race leaders on Fox Sports Net.
So Greg Ray has a 3-second advantage over Sam Schmidt. And Sean, one of the surprising things perhaps in this race has been the performance of Kenny Breck, who won here last year, but is way down the order at the moment, well, inside the top 10.
Right, he started, I think, 13th or 14th, and it's been a bit of a struggle for him, and he's just kind of languishing around the back half of the top 10, but he's had better luck, I think, than some of the guys there, so we'll see how it goes the rest of the way.
You raced against him. What did you most admire about him when you were racing Formula Fords with him?
I don't know. I didn't really think much of Kenny all that long ago, but in following his career the last 13 years, here's a guy, just great credit to just hard work and making it happen. He's really made the career himself and finding the money and went stateside, and I'd have to say he's done a terrific job, you know, for young guys like Sam. He's a great example, I'd say.
Well, we'll talk more to both of you as the race develops. We're going to head back, though, to Pikes Peak International Raceway as we get into the closing stages.
I told you guys that Sam Schmidt put some more front wing in the car and it looks like he got loose, and see his hands, what happened there. Look at that big wiggle. 2 corrections in 3 and 4, and he slowed down in that lap to 148 average. The leader did 159.
Make the little hair stand on the back of your neck.
3.3 seconds. Sam Schmidt is back of the race leader. Greg Ray in that bright yellow machine, Menard machine. Look at this traffic.
Greg Ray on the outside putting a lap on Dismore. Well, he's just come back on the racetrack after you know, making those repairs back in the garage.
This clearly illustrates what can happen when you have to back out of the throttle like Cheever did. Before this, he was right in the hunt in the top 3 or 4 positions. Now he's in danger of going a lap down. Why? At 1 mile oval, you back out of the throttle. The leaders are going to gobble up the real estate awfully quickly.
That's right. We're watching Eddie Cheever trying to stay on the lead lap. 133 laps completed. Trying to hang in there. And Greg Ray trying to stretch the lead. His lead now is 1.5 seconds on Sam Schmidt.
Well, this is also where Greg Ray has to be very careful. Most drivers will tell you that Eddie Cheever is a very difficult driver to get by. Not that he does anything that's nasty. It's just that he knows how to keep it. We look at the battle for 5th position. Buddy Lazier finds 5th being given way to young Robbie Unser. Unser in the Petromali machine right there. And that's all that Buddy Lazier, as we watch Buddy Lazier's hands here, he's trying to get by. It's 3 wide. Oh boy, was that a close call. The guy on the high side was the red car, Buzz Calkins' machine, the Bradley Food Mart special. The meat in the sandwich, that was Robbie Unser.
It's not over yet.
No.
Robbie's trying to get it back again.
Are we back at Texas, 3 wide?
Down to 1 mile. This is exciting.
Yeah, Buddy's hands are, you know, he turns the wheel quite a lot, and that doesn't really have much to do with the handling of the car, because you can change rack and pinions in these cars. Some guys turn a little bit, other guys have to turn more because they have more teeth on the rack and pinion. That's very technical stuff, by the way.
Buddy Lazier has always been one, too, that instead of the 10 and 2 position that they teach you in driving school, he likes to move them around a little bit, and Buddy likes to exercise his hands as well. Sometimes when you go on board, you'll see him actually opening them, squeezing them back and forth. I think some of that, Ari, is because he does grip the wheel so hard.
No, he did that especially after his accident that he had in Phoenix in 1996 with his lower back, when he broke his lower back. It actually started, his hands would go a little numb. He was always exercising them in the yellows.
Well, he was doing it again today, so obviously the result of that crash where he broke his back still haunts him.
Let's go down to the pits now with Vince Welsh.
Robbie Unser, as you saw that great battle with Buddy Lazier. Unser, I just spoke with Bobby Unser a moment ago, and he said the car's been terrific. They've not made a single adjustment to this machine all day long. So if it continues to run this well, look for Robbie Unser to be a factor in the end.
You know, I've got to make an apology to John King, the team manager for the Petromali Robbie Unser car. At Texas Motor Speedway, we circled him and said he was the man on the right front that waved Robbie out. John came to me and said, look, I've got white hair. The guy that was there's got white hair. I'm too old to go over the wall. Haven't been over the wall for 4 years. Wasn't me. I said, hey, you looked an awful lot like you.
Watching Robbie Unser. Robbie Unser trying to hang in there with 60 laps to go. He really liked to win here. He knows how to win in this state. He's done his share of winning at Pikes Peak. Battle for 3rd, Davey Hamilton in 3rd, and Harrington driving with some broken bones in that car, giving chase. The bright orange car, Davey Hamilton, followed by the Certainteed machine, and Harrington's going to challenge on the backstretch.
He's got
Beautiful move.
You know, and looking at how easy he passed him tells me that now Davey Hamilton is a victim of a bad handling car. We're going to see him drop back. And you know, we talk about how much fun these guys are having. There's really maybe 2 guys that are really having a lot of fun, because everybody seems to be having a little bit of a problem with their handling of the car.
Talk about having fun. Buddy Lazier trying to put a lap on the next mill car of Stefan Gregoire. And Ron Hemmelgarn is the owner of this car, Calvin Fish.
Ron has the handling on Buddy's car. We see him really working the wheel very hard through the turns.
Well, the car's handling pretty good. He's pretty well balanced now. He feels pretty good. He's just basically picking off traffic right now, so he's pretty happy. I think we got a car that can go all the way, and I think if it wasn't for that yellow before, I think we'd be in the lead.
These long green flag periods, how is the tire wear? 75, 85 laps? Can you make it to really maximize it and just do a splash at the end?
I think so. I think we can.
Okay, well, these guys are confident that maybe Goodyear can get their 5th one here today, but that Firestone that front with Greg Ray is looking really strong.
Buddy Lazier running in 5th position. 5th position for Lazier. On board now with Buddy Lazier and Eddie Cheever trying to stay on the lead lap. He's in 7th right now. Children's Beverage Group.
This became his focus, looking at Greg Ray in his mirrors. That's the guy that he does not want to get passed by Greg Ray.
And here's an interesting fact. Greg Ray's last lap was 160.81 miles per hour. You know what Cheever's was? 160.83. Giddy up, Eddie, because you're about to go a lap down.
Yeah.
He was the fastest lap that last time by.
And that's, and he's waiting for a yellow to happen, because if we go green the rest of the way, then Eddie has to come in the pits on the green, and so does Greg. And then it's down to Eddie's team to beat Greg Ray's team out of the pits. And we know Eddie's team has done a great job in the pits, and so is Greg Ray's team. So
one driver that we haven't talked about much today is Donnie Beechler, my favorite. Big Daddy is in the house, Vince Welch, but not where he'd like to be.
Yeah, unfortunately, Big Daddy's in the garage area. Donnie Beechler, what happened?
Well, we got behind the 8 ball when we crashed yesterday, and we never really got the car where it should have been. We had a push earlier in the race, and it just kind of magnified. I pulled in one pit stop to change it, and I think we went too far, and the car got loose again, and it just wasn't worth risking everybody else out there in my car, so we elected to pull in.
We'll look forward to seeing Donnie Beechler in Atlanta, but for now, he's done.
Another driver that we're missing today is Robbie McGee in the Energizer Batteries car. He had a problem in last practice as Eddie Cheever does pull onto pit road. And the Owen Snyder leg through. There's Owen right there, making the work very short on the right front. Now you see what Owen does? Owen runs across the bow of the car, and he is the one that officially lets Cheever come back out, while another guy on the other side of the wall keys the radio and says either go or don't go.
Watching a battle now for second place. To your left of your screen is Sam Schmidt and Scott Harrington. 7 seconds back of the race leader. Harrington now will try to use some lap traffic. Looking out the back now. And this is Harrington trying to challenge Sam Schmidt.
That lap car is Buzz Calkins, and that's providing the opportunity for Harrington. Scott Harrington gets by Schmidt, works to the inside now of that car, number 12, the Bradley Motorsports machine for Calkins. And he has moved himself into a podium-paying position. Third spot for Harrington. Second spot.
Yeah.
I know better than that.
Yeah, but what Sam is fighting right now is an ill-handling car. It looks like it's getting a little loose, and he can't really go into the corner aggressively behind a back marker like Buzz Calkins. And it costs him positions here.
One man that we're missing here today, Herb Porter from Speedway Automotive. We call him Herbie Horsepower. He passed away at the age of 84 years old after being involved in a pre-Indy 500 accident on the highway. All of us are going to miss Herbie. We wish he and his family well.
Relax. Lay back. Let your imagination float away. Taste the temptation with the adult channel from midnight till 4 a.m. for only $4.99 per night. Go on, get fruity after midnight. Please have your viewing card ready, available only to satellite viewers.
One of the hardest decisions when you buy a new car is what color to choose. Drive the Freelander and you can change it whenever you like. With prices starting from £16,575, call 0800 110 110 for details.
This is the free phone number for Talking Pages. You use it day or night to find taxis, takeaways, lawyers, whatever. Research tells us the longer you have your number on screen, the more people will remember it. Oh, and make it exciting.
I'm meeting someone, but I quite like to freshen up first. It's just over here, sir. Thanks. Hello.
The best things come to those who loaf. Here's to maximum refreshment, minimum effort.
You smell nice.
Thanks, I've just been to the lavatory.
New Corona Block Daily Moisturiser. Active prevention from rock.
Some things never last. But when it comes to low prices, they do with rollback. And right now, we're rolling back the prices on summer food. With lots of desserts, over 50 drinks, And when our prices roll back lower, they stay lower. So far, we've rolled back over 1,800 prices. Permanently low prices forever.
Cool. Oh.
Don't worry. The laundry fairy will empty it.
Don't you sometimes wish that your detergent put as much energy into the wash as you do?
Excuse me. Mum, you're not going to wash my best top with that, are you? Oh, lucky you're here, because I've never washed a white blouse before, have I?
Now there's new Ariel 2-layer tablets. They clean better across the wash than any other leading tablet because they burst with cleaning energy and their creamy lather leaves clothes smelling really fresh.
Oh, something about clean, fresh sheets, don't you think?
I haven't got the energy.
New Ariel tablets, at least they're bursting with cleaning energy.
How do you make the most of the net?
I find out about fish.
With Barclays, you get free internet access for life.
43 laps to go, and Scott Harrington brings it into the pits. Let's go to Calvin Fish.
There'll be a new set of sticker Firestone tires going on this race car. This time they're going to have a drink ready for him. Scott Aikes, the welcome break there from the drinks bottle. He's working very hard in the race car. The car is perfect. No changes to the car that we know of. Darryl Selby just said keep the engine revs up. The pit stop's complete. Stop. Yeah, great work by the team.
One of the great things about the Pep Boys Indy Racing Leagues, it seems like every time we come to a race, there is a story developing. The battle right now for third position, but this is the story that we've got as we watch the battle for third go past Scott Harrington. The battle for third is getting heated up between Hamilton, Lazier, and Unser. Hamilton right there, Unser, and they're all getting ready to pit. The first one to do so will be Buddy Lazier.
Some guys are trying to stretch their pit stops here, and if you can do that, you know, and if something happens out there, a yellow flag, for instance, that will help you. And right now, Sam Schmidt and Greg Ray are still out there on the racetrack, racing on the green.
Let's watch it now. The American Racing pit clock here. See how quickly this Himmelgarn team can get him in and out here as we close into the final stages of the race. 39 laps to go.
Imagine trying to get this work done at your local car.
They stalled it.
They stalled the engine.
Boy, and the pace of this race is incredible. We've seen that on yellow, and this race has just gone over so quickly.
And this is deadly for car number 91, the Delta Fawcett Tybo Coors Light car. They were in the lead lap, but they will not come out of that final, what they hope to be the final pit stop, still in the lead lap.
Kenny Breck into the pit area now. Breck running in 7th when he came into the pits. Quickly in and out for the Power team, the winner of the Indy 500 and defending champion at this race course.
Well, A.J. Foyt told us, despite the fact that Billy Boat was out, that they would soldier on because they have 2 cars here. The Power team entry for Breck continuing to be shown in within the top 10. 9th spot, but Sam Schmidt in 2nd spot, Ari. They're going to have to make some major changes in their final pit stop.
I think what they have to do is basically take the wing out that they put in their first pit stop.
When we talk about taking the wing out, we'll watch when they come out of pit road. You'll watch the guys in the front. They'll try and reduce the amount of wing angle. They'll make adjustments right here and right here, correct?
There are these little things here that they turn to adjust the wing. That's what we'll see Skip Fall working on as soon as he gets into the pit. Now wait a minute, on the speedways it's there, and on the 1 mile ovals it's there. You're right, Jack.
I can't believe it, Dave. I was right.
He was right. I am surrounded by brilliant people.
Yes, you are. Pro Start Batteries bring you that telemetry. And Davey Hamilton comes into the pits. He was running in 3rd, 18 seconds off the race leader. Your race leader, that man. Greg Ray coming into the pits. Team Menard trying to bring it home for the victory. Let's go to Calvin Fish.
Team Menard go to work. They're one of the few crews who actually use the safety helmets on the crew before scrub Firestone's going onto the car. They're trying to break a remarkable string here. No one has won from the front row since Billy built it in Texas a year ago. Greg Ray is out of here. Perfect pit stop for Team Menard.
No changes to that front wing of Greg Ray's car, so he must be happy with the handling. But Sam Schmidt, good on fuel mileage, is still out there under the green.
Davey Hamilton with a fantastic pit as well. He got in front of Greg Ray. Let's go to Vince Welch.
No, it wasn't a good pit stop. He stalled it as he came out. It was just a timed fuel stop. They wanted it for fuel and tires only because the car has been handling great. But a little clutch hitch just as he was trying to get out. The clutch is gone in the car, I'm being told now. So very costly stop. Hamilton was right there in the mix, but he stalled it coming out of the pit stop.
Great pickup. Our colleague, veteran down there, Vince Welch, helping us out today. So problems for that man, Davey Hamilton.
And we hear a lot of clutch problems today that has something to do with the heat out here today, and possibly even the altitude. Who knows?
Looking at Scott Sharp's machine right now.
The Delphi Automotive car giving you a good look at Eddie Cheever in the children's beverage number 51. We eavesdrop on the Delphi Automotive crew of Scott Sharp. For Cheever, well, you can hear there that Sharp is up on the rev limiter. I tried to tell you before that most of the engineers have said they're not that concerned about it as long as you don't stay on it too long. In fact, some teams like to try and set it up so they can be on the rev limiter at the point where you want to begin braking, because the limiter will slow you down. Like you say, like that parking brake, slow you down quicker than having to hit the brakes.
Can you believe how long Sam Schmidt is staying out there? He must have great fuel mileage.
He's the race leader. We're hearing on the radio that he will be coming in here. So he'll give up the lead to Greg Ray.
Pressure on Sam Schmidt right now, or is the pressure on his crew, Skip Ball and company with the Sprint PCS team?
Really on both. It's going to be, pressure cooker right here. He has to bring it into the pits. He's going for one more lap, and he has to bring it into the pits, 60 miles an hour speed limit. But he will press the button on the dash. He only has to press it once. It will go off as soon as he leaves the pits. Here's Scott Sharp into his pit stop.
He's in 4th place right now as he comes into the pits.
He's saying the right front is the only brake that works. It looks like, as we look at the battle for 5th, a change now in position. Moving into the 4th spot is the Spinal Conquest car of Davey Hamilton. But the brake problems that persisted for Dismore seem to have now struck his teammate, Scott Sharp, as he was down to only one brake in the right front.
This is going to be a fun finish. 28 laps to go right now. The Radisson 200. Will we have a new winner this year in the Pep Boys Indy Racing League? It's kind of looking that way, but a lot of things can play out with this many laps left. Sam Schmidt, your race leader. 26 now laps to go.
He's still out there. Is he going to come in? He's going to come in, we know that, but he's really stretching that lead. That fuel window.
You know, every PPIR Pikes Peak winner, the first 2 races, went on to capture that particular year's IRL championship. In '97 it was Tony Stewart. Last year it was Kenny Brett. Right now, maybe we're going to see who's going to go and battle for the lead. Car is slowing down, and that looks to be the Steve Knapp Microphonics Delco Remy car from the ISM stable. Tough break for Knapp. But Hamilton is beginning to, it looks like maybe he's beginning to close in, but actually we're cycling through into these green flag stops, Ari. And we better complete the cycle, or there may be some people going laps down.
Well, let's see if Steve Knapp can bring it into the pits, because they might have a yellow, but no, he's still... No.
We're watching, and there was Knapp as we went by, and that was on board with the Sprint PCS car. And he's pitting. Finally, Sam Schmidt is on his way to you, Vince Welch.
This needs to be an extra fast pit stop so they will not make any chassis adjustments. The reason why they've stayed out so long is because the car is running best at the end of the long runs. So they just want to do a short fill on fuel here and change 4 tires. But Skip Ball gave me the thumbs up sign when I said, how's the car running? They want to just get him out as quick as possible. And again, they believe they've got a winner on their hands. Very smooth stop for Sam Schmidt. 8 seconds.
Beautiful. Here's Steve Knapp rolling into the pit area right now. Sam Schmidt with 23 laps to go is the man. Greg Ray and Harrington also challenging. We're going to have a fantastic finish. Trying to keep this car out of the way out of competition. Steve Knapp was running in 10th. There's Greg Ray.
So now the separation for Greg Ray and Sam Schmidt, well, it's fairly sizable right now, but again, Greg Ray is working some heavy race traffic. Could that be advantageous for Sam Schmidt? We will just have to wait and see.
22 laps to go. Ray is the leader.
Sam obviously still has to get out of, up to speed coming out of the pits on the full load of fuel, and still have to get some heat in those tires. But right now, Greg Ray is quite a good lead over Sam. Scott Harrington is still running a very strong third place.
Greg Ray coming off his season best second place finish at Texas. He wants to improve and get that first victory today.
Greg Ray came to the Pikes Peak International Raceway back in 1997 and competed here. In 1998, he didn't have a ride, but he came out here at the invitation of A.J. Foyt to be a spotter for Billy Boat. Early in the day, Greg Ray decided to go out hiking up in the mountains up towards Pikes Peak. He got so enthralled with the beauty of the nature, he missed the race.
He missed the boat.
He missed the boat. But basically what he did this week is he took his whole family, he and Winston and the rest of the family, have come out here and have been hiking all week. I wonder if it was to make sure that he got to the race today.
I think so. 20 laps to go, the Radisson 200. Greg Ray has a 6-second lead. The finish coming up.
Are you ready for action?
And they have to go like that for ages to get the maximum amount of juice.
They're a spirited bunch of contestants in a game show quite unlike any other.
But not even in our first night here in the place of here.
This takes ages. Big mug. It's another chance to see the antics of Prickly Heat. Monday at 10, Sky 1.
You have 30 seconds to answer the following questions. Which of these is not a European city? 4 towns need roads built to link them. Which scheme requires the least amount of road? Which driver is going to feel safer? The one with a really loud horn? Or the one with driver, passenger and lateral airbags, PRS and ABS? Test drive your IQ now. The Renault Laguna.
Crazy, isn't it? But just how many of you all over the country are doing this every year? Every time you pay your buildings insurance along with your mortgage, you could be literally throwing your money away and throwing it away year after year after year until you do this. Switching your buildings insurance from your mortgage provider to Direct Line could save you up to 30%. So stop throwing your money away and go to Direct Line instead. Go on, try them. See for yourself. Call 0181 686 8877.
The new Hoover Vortex with state-of-the-art triple vortex cleaning system. No bags, no filter replacement, no problems.
I'm really dreading tonight, do you know that? I could do with staying in front of the telly. Every single bloke she ever goes out with, it's ridiculous. It's like she can't even trust her own instincts. I go through this every single time. I'm going to be late. Shall I leave my shirt in there? Gav? Am I talking to myself? Hello, am I talking to myself? Oh, Thomas.
Oh, Thomas? Yeah, all very well doing that, mate. Ruined the shirt. Marvellous.
Bachelor's super duper whooper noodles.
Make the perfect recording for your perfect place. Sony mini disc. Well, while we were away on that break, there's been an incident over at Pikes Peak Raceway. Let's go to our American colleagues to find out the full story.
Right there is what you want to watch.
He really didn't get together with him. His closing rate was great. Was a high rate of speed. He closed in on Scott. He had to get out of the throttle while he was behind him. He lost the front end of the car, took away the downforce being that close behind him, and that would move him up on the racetrack into the wall.
Let's reset for you quickly here. 13 laps to go as we're under yellow. 13 laps to go, and it looks like we may have a first-time winner at the Pep Boys Indy Racing League. Greg Ray is out in front right now. His lead is 4.7 seconds over Sam Schmidt. And Davey Hamilton also hanging in there. He's 17 seconds back, but there's the guy to beat right now. The man to catch is Greg Ray.
But the guy that it always amazes me here as we look at Greg Ray in the Menards Glidden entry, for Davey Hamilton to have that misfortune and stall the car on pit road, to have to stash that emotions back in the cockpit somewhere in a glove compartment that doesn't exist, and now get back out there and say, hey, I got a couple of laps to go. Maybe I can get by Schmidt. Who knows? Maybe I can get by Ray.
You know what? But Hamilton did not need this yellow because Hamilton was at the time before the yellow was the fastest car on the racetrack.
Vince?
Well, that's a great point, Ari, because this restart is of major concern for the Gallus Racing Team and Davey Hamilton because they do have the bad clutch in the car. Rick Gallus and Davey Hamilton have discussed it on the radio about how they want to approach it at the restart. So it's going to be a very touchy situation with Hamilton in that clutch. It could be determining the outcome of his position.
Spinal Conquest is the sponsor. All of the net profits from this racing operation goes to try and find a cure for spinal injuries.
Next time around, we will go green. So basically, it will be an 11-mile sprint to the finish. And Greg Ray trying to hold off Sam Schmidt and Davey Hamilton. Hamilton really likes this track. We should mention he was 3rd in 97, 5th in 98. So Davey Hamilton's had a lot of success here.
Davey Hamilton has not had a great year this year, but for him and for this Gallus team to make the car work as good as it's working today, it looks like they have a great season ahead of them in the other upcoming races.
Alan Mertens is the engineer for Gallus, as he has been for a long time. He looks like he's catching up to IRL rules.
And here we go for the restart. Off of turn 4, Greg Ray, the race leader now, 11 miles from the win.
Chiba takes back a lap.
Boy, he looks slow on that restart, Ari.
Chiba takes back that lap and is back on the lead lap if he stays ahead of him. But we only have 10 laps to go, so.
Can he hold off Sam Schmidt?
Lazier's trying to get his lap back as well in the Delta Faucet's purple number 91. We're hearing loose.
We're hearing loose, and you can see he cannot get on the throttle coming off the corner. He just looks a little bit slow right now, and he's got 10 laps to bring it on.
What does loose mean? That means that the back end of the car hits the wall before the front end.
I'm laughing, but it's not funny.
1.8 seconds separates first and second. 9 laps to go. Next time around, it'll be 8. Now 8 laps. Greg Ray trying to hold on for that first victory.
There's the separation.
It's going to be exciting. This is going to be very exciting because Greg Ray looks like he doesn't have the handling of the car that he had before. And Sam is not far behind.
Spotters and crew chiefs like Skip Ball, I'm sure, have already notified Sam Schmidt that time-wise he is running faster than the leader, Greg Ray. The question mark remains with 8 laps to go. Does the Sprint PCS team have enough time left to do it? The Ranex telemetry shows them they have enough muscle.
It was 1.9 seconds, now it's 1.2, but Sam stuck a little bit behind this car right here. Now he's gotten by him.
That was the Jacques Lazier Team Tricelli car for Warner Brothers with Roadrunner on board this year.
6 laps to go now. 164.3 miles an hour. Last time around for Greg Ray. Sam Schmidt, 163.0.
There's the 2 leaders in your shot.
You know, they used to say, Houston, I have it in sight. Right now, Sam Schmidt can say, Skip, I have the lead in sight. This one is going to go down to the wire. It's going to be close for Greg Ray and Sam Schmidt. Dave, 5 to go.
That's right. Pep Boys Indy Racing League action. Hope you're enjoying it here on Fox Sports Net. Let's go to Vince Welsh.
Skip Ball just told Sam Schmidt over the radio, you're faster than he is. Go get the leader. And it is a stalking process now as Schmidt, as you mentioned, clearly has Greg Ray in sight. Let's see if he can get him in the last 4 laps.
Sam, that signal to Sam Schmidt would be like throwing a dog bone in front of a starving St. Bernard. Right now, he sees victory in his grasp. Hurry, can he do it?
It's possible because right now Greg Ray's coming up on Buddy Lazier and Cheever, who he has caught up with a little bit. It seemed like the first lap Greg Ray was, you know, a lot looser than he is right now, but it's 3 laps to go. It's not much, and there he is, and he can make his car very wide in 2 laps.
3 miles to victory now for Greg Ray. 1 second separates 1 and 2. We're going to have a new winner in the Pep Boys Indy Racing League Series.
Looking for the 15th different winner since the inception of the Pep Boys Indy Racing League. and Calvin Fish. It could be one of these two guys.
I think so, absolutely. Greg Ray's crew are saying there are no handling problems with the car, but they're in a pensive mood now. 2 laps to go, and Sam Schmidt is right on his tail, Jack.
I wouldn't be pensive right now. I'd have butterflies that would be about the size of giant bullets.
I have them right now.
Yeah.
Butterflies. This is exciting. And boy, with 1 lap to go, he's right on his gearbox right here coming over 4.
Charging, closing the gap. The white flag comes out. And for the Radisson 200, the final lap at Pikes Peak. And can he do it? Sam Schmidt trying to get around Greg Ray and Team Menard.
2 pros in front of him, Lazier and Cheever, so they shouldn't come into play.
Here they come battling to turn 3. 2 more quarters for Greg Ray. Ray out of 3, trying to make it wide. Look at Sam Schmidt. He's going to challenge out of turn 4, but Greg Ray is going to hold on and win the Radisson 200 at Pikes Peak. What a fantastic finish here on Fox Sports Net as the celebration begins. Greg Ray gets his first win.
18 races for Greg Ray, and at the age of 32 and 3 years into his IRL career, he finally backs up a second at Texas Motor Speedway with a victory. And this was the battle for 3rd spot, and it looks unofficially as if it would go to Hamilton, with Cheever being posted in the 4th position. What a great afternoon, Dave.
We've had a lot of fun. The celebration is underway. Much deserved for Greg Ray. We'll have that celebration next on Fox Sports Net.
Well, a quite fantastic result there for Greg Ray. Right on the line, it went down to the wire. Greg Ray taking the win from Sam Schmidt. And I've got to tell you that my 2 guests in the studio here picked the 2 drivers. And the win goes to Sean Jones. Sean, you must be delighted with that victory for Greg Ray.
That's right. Sam and I were rooting for our own guys down the stretch there. But a terrific result for Greg Ray. Here's a guy who didn't start motor racing until he was 25 years old. So he's got, a lot of guys out there with 15, 20 years more experience. So, just a testament to sticking with it. Awesome race, and that was it. Greg Ray's a first-time winner.
What is that first win going to mean to him, do you think?
Oh, a ton of confidence, I think. This is the type of thing that gets a driver up and rolling, and not only Ray, but Menards, they've been close before, and so they finally got the first one, in the bag, and away they go, I think.
Well, you two were cheering like crazy for your own men, and Sammy just pipped you on the line there. Your namesake didn't quite make it.
Yeah, he did. A bittersweet moment there for Sam Schmidt. I mean, God, he will have finished, 3 times on the podium now. He'll be thinking, those last few laps, that final charge, he's thinking, no, I've finished on the podium enough times without getting the win. Not going to let it happen again. And when you've raced for such a long time, to miss a victory by what was only a couple of feet, thousandths of a second, will be tough to swallow. It really, really will be. Yeah, great result. He finished 2nd, wonderful. But it's almost more disappointing to finish that close to a victory than it is the 2nd place in the bag itself. But, we were seeing who could cheer the loudest, but unfortunately, my man lost.
Well, let's hear from Sean's man, and we can now cross to Colorado and hear from Greg Ray.
Greg, we talked about it before the race in the pre-race show, how you've been so close, and what would you do to get here today? Wow, what a great finish. How'd you hold Sam off down the stretch?
Well, I tell you what, this Glidden Team Menard group did a great job. These Firestone tires were fantastic all day, and kind of like I said, it wasn't the fastest car, it was just being consistent, and I tell you what, we just took it when it came, and my crew did a great job, my spotter did a great job, Tom Knapp gave me a great setup, and I'm just so happy, I just can't stand it.
Take us through those last few laps, Schmidt.
So the IRL living up to its somewhat exciting reputation yet again. And in 2 weeks' time, we'll give you the next episode of this thrilling saga, the Atlanta 500, which will be held under lights. We'll actually bring you the highlights on Sunday, July the 18th at 2 p.m. on Sky Sports 3. Well, if you're not getting a full dosage of motorsports, you should be tuning in on Monday, tomorrow, June the 28th, 11:59 p.m, Sky Sports 2 for World Motorsports, the Nürburgring 24 Hours, South African V8 Series, and the Tour of Cyprus Rally. Well, and now be prepared for something that will also set you watering, because on Sky Sports 2 we're bringing you the Lysol 200 Bush Grand National race from the Watkins Glen Road course. That actually started a few moments ago, but I can assure you of some great action. Well, that's all we've time for, sadly, from my guests Sam Hancock and from Sean Jones. From me, Paul Marcel, have a great evening. For now, goodbye.